Today's message comes from the book Jesus in the Home by Neio Lucio, psychographed by Xavier. Chapter 43 The Glory of Dedication. James, the son of Alphaeus, was recounting the natural problems in becoming a disciple, when several others voiced their opinions regarding the difficulties of spiritual growth. The majority concluded that it is virtually impossible to practice the lessons of the gospel in a world that is on the wrong side of goodness, selflessness, and forgiveness. Most people take pleasure in being avaricious or hardened. Jesus was being surprisingly quiet as he listened to his disciples' opinions. When Peter asked him directly about the matter, Jesus thought for a few instants and considered. Concerning teaching and spiritual growth, everything depends on the student. And then he said kindly, "In the time of David, there was a great artist who played the harp with such perfection that a lot of important people came from afar to hear him play. From time to time, great lords and their cortege would lie around near his tree-encircled house in order to listen to his sublime improvisations. The admirable master gained both fame and fortune, and everyone believed that no one on earth could match his musical skill. During his soirees and recitals, he had in his personal service a slave who was apparently incept and foolish, who served water, sweets, and fruits to the guests. He never said a word, but focused all his attention on the divine instrument as if he were fascinated by the hands that played it. Many years went by when the artist came home unexpectedly one evening after a banquet of a friend in the neighborhood, and with indescribable wonder, he heard a heavenly melody floating through the air. Someone was playing magnificently in his solitary house, as if it were an angel exiled here on earth. Who could this stranger who had taken his place be? In tears of emotion at foreseeing the existence of someone with an artistic ability much greater than his own, he slowly went in so as not to be noticed. He was completely shocked when he saw that the marvelous harpist was his foolish old slave, who, using the free time to which he was entitled by law, and without bothering anyone, was practicing his master's exercises, to which he had been dedicating his vigilant love in moving silence for many years. The magnanimous and famous artist set him free and granted him the position that he rightly deserved. Faced with the surprised faces of the disciples, who had become humbly quiet, the master concluded, "The acquisition of noble qualities is the infallible glory of dedication. Every man and every woman who uses their spare time on the harp of life conforming to the wisdom and beauty with which our Father expresses Himself in all corners of the world, will quickly absorb His grandeur and sublimities, thus becoming representatives of heaven for their brothers and sisters in humanity. But when they work only during the share of time for which they are paid, without making any use of the great concessions of time that the divine goodness has granted them in the body, they will receive nothing more than the world's transitory remuneration. We often think that outward difficulties are the biggest obstacles to achieving peace and happiness, when in fact, we build peace and joy as a spiritual state by facing those very difficulties with consistent dedication to loving one another as Jesus does, just as He has asked of us. There is no greater spiritual acquisition and no better usage of the time at our disposal than learning how to love and allow ourselves to be loved. Let us move forward with that higher purpose for our lives. So be it.